Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review. I was about to say Real Housewives of Medicine. The Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 13. So let's get into it. So before we get into it, you guys, we gonna get a little spicy, just a little bit. And there's just a few spicy topics I want to talk to you guys about before we get into the review. First up, let's talk about this revelation of Apollo being at Married to Medicine's reunion. Who asked for this? Because I know it wasn't me. So on February the 15th, it was revealed by people that Apollo will be featured at the reunion. And I don't get why. They mentioned Apollo one time. I just feel like production got bamboozled by Phaedra. And I don't know how, when Phaedra has been showing up to all her gigs the same way. The Phaedra that we are getting on the show is the same Phaedra we had on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 Ex-Wives Club. She say a few funny things here or there, but she's not really in the mix and she's not really divulging a lot about her life. We had a whole entire episode celebrating her oldest son's birthday, and that's the only time we heard about Apollo. We didn't see Apollo, so I don't get why Apollo's coming to the reunion. It kind of feels like they're jumping the shark. Like, why are we pulling this out? I don't care to listen to this, but he gonna be there and we're gonna see what he gives. But it also looks like the cast didn't know he was gonna be there as well. Like, he showed up and they were shocked. So hopefully Phaedra knew he was going to be there. But again, who asked for this? So the next spicy thing, you guys, is it looks like Quad and Heavenly are back on good terms. So there was a clip floating around of Quad and Heavenly hanging out, and I'm going to play it for you guys.
I'm a very classy girl, honey. Very classy girl. So classy, honey, classier than most.
What you got to say about the people? They've been asking about you.
What have they been saying?
They've been wearing where's Quad?
I'm here, dear. I'm here living a fantabulous life. Every now and again, I get disappointed when I think about some things that my friends have done to me. And there was no apology, honey, but we're going to talk about accountability.
God, Jesus, Lord. I feel real good today.
Uh-huh.
Man, do you got a man?
They got none of your business.
Oh, you don't tell your business?
I don't tell my business.
You're private,
honey.
but you're on reality TV, huh?
Yes, and a lot of people are. You're one of them. You never tell anything about your marriage.
No, but I talk about yours.
I'm not married anymore. I'm not married anymore.
I'm saying, but who you sleeping
but you're
with
very
right
private.
Okay, am I?
When's the last time have you slept with Dr. Damon? Go on, lie about it.
This morning.
Lies, honey. Lies, falsehood, and farces. Lies, falsehoods, and...
All right, y'all. So you just heard or you saw the video with Quad and Heavenly hanging out. And I think this lends... it aids in my theory that they really didn't get rid of Quad. I think that rumor that was going around that allegedly Quad didn't even sign on for the full season, that she only signed on for like 6 or 5 episodes, I think it's true. Because I also don't understand how before all of this stuff went down, Quad was still doing lives with the ladies every night up until when she got kicked off the show. So I feel like they kind of playing in our faces, but I also think this is aiding in what Mariah said with her interview with Carlos King, where she said that she thinks Quad is going to be back. And she also thinks this is a way for the ladies to humble Quad. I think the network wanted to humble Quad. I think they felt like Quad was feeling herself a little too much and getting too big and like her britches, as the old people would say. And I also think that they know what it looks like when one of their girls is going off the deep end. And I think they had to show Quad, girl, you're easily replaceable. Like, we could get rid of you. If we getting rid of Nene, Vicky Gunvalson, we got rid of Tamra, sis, we definitely can get rid of you. So and they got rid of the whole cast of New York. I feel like they were trying to show Quad, like, girl, stop playing with us. So I definitely think she'll be back for next season. And Heavenly's always going to do what she thinks is good for the show. And if she thinks reconciling with Quad is good for the show, she going to do that. So I definitely think Quad's going to be back for season 11. And the whole storyline of hers is going to be her trying to rebuild and mend fences with the ladies. All right, y'all. So the last thing we're going to talk about is this whole baby formula with Dr. Heavenly. So Sweet Tea has been screaming from the high heavens since she's been beefing with Dr. Heavenly, saying that she is a grandmother, and why hasn't anyone called out the baby formula that is clearly in her kitchen? So, I got this information on February the 3rd, but I forgot about it. It didn't talk about it the last time we did Married to Medicine, but we kind of got an update today. So pretty much Sweet Tea was on Twitter and she quote tweeted this fan page called Candy Burst's fan page, and it says, "At Dr. Heavenly, I'm watching season 9 and look at what I see. We need answers, boop." And it's basically a screenshot of a scene that Dr. Heavenly's in, and in the background in her cabinet is baby formula, and there's a big circle around it. And Sweet Tea pretty much said, "Told y'all she's a granny, but it's the fact that she lied about it. First it's for the skin, and now it's for a big grown man that's vegan. Lies. Hashtag Married to Medicine. Hashtag be real. Hashtag fake. Hashtag free Damon. Hashtag he needs peace." So that was posted February the 2nd. Well, Dr. Heavenly took to her Twitter and she actually screenshotted the thumbnail of a new video from a YouTuber called Color Me Pink. I watched a few of her videos. She's an author, and I used to really watch her channel around the Power days. She does really good Power reviews when I was into Power. But she has a video about some tea about if Heavenly is a grandma. So Heavenly pretty much says this on Twitter. She said, "I've heard I was a grandma because of the infamil in my cabinet. At this point, people just making ish up. Honestly, I would not be mad at it. LOL. At Mima. Hashtag Married to Medicine. Hashtag Team Daddy." So people were like, "Heavenly, you're not answering the question. You're deflecting." But I saw people in the comments on All True Teas page, where this is where I'm getting this from, said that she spoke about it on her YouTube channel, and she pretty much says she was questioned about it at the reunion, and that's the reason why she's not talking about it. She was like, "Y'all will get my answer at the reunion." I don't know if Heavenly's a grandma or not. It wouldn't surprise me if she is a grandma, but we know Heavenly doesn't really share too much about her personal life, really. Like, especially when it comes to like her immediate family, she has no problem talking about like her mom and her issues with her sister and arguing with the ladies, but when it comes to Damon and her 3 kids, she don't play about them. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's hiding the fact or she's concealing that her son is a father, as well as maybe the boys, because we never see the boys. I don't think the boys like being on camera, so maybe they asked her not to speak about it or be private about it. Also, I think like if she was a grandmother, I feel like somebody would have came out by now and spoken about it. Somebody would have found something. I don't know. That's just what I think. But if she's a grandmother, congratulations. But let's get into this review. All right, y'all. So let's get into this episode. It starts off where it left off, where the men are going to a cooking class and the women are going to play golf. You know, they did the whole role reversal thing. So the guys go cooking. They end up being broken into 2 teams. Cecil and Eugene are the team captains. So Eugene ends up picking Greg and Curtis. Curtis felt some type of way about being last, but his team ended up winning anyway. And then you have Cecil picking Kima and Damon. And so, like I said, they were making like some rice dish or something like that. But we all knew Eugene was going to win. Even Eugene knew he was going to win. I cackled when Heavenly asked Damon which team he was on and like what did he cook. And the moment she said, the moment she asked him like, "Were you on Eugene's team?" And he was like, "No." She said, of course she was going to lose. Because everybody knows that Eugene is a great cook and he's so passionate about cooking, it comes across in his food. So, of course, they were going to win, you know. Kima irritated me. The whole like this is women's work and like women should be and it's just kind of like one, I feel like he's putting on he's laying it on way too thick. Men that boast so much about this is women's work, this either one, you can't do it, or two, you're trying to compensate for somewhere in your life that you lack. And so he was just irritating me because to me, I think it's these are basic human skills. Washing your body properly, cooking for yourself, cleaning your own clothes, and keeping a nice, neat house are 4 skills that everybody on this earth should have. And it's not gender based. You need to know how to wash your body the correct way, because some of y'all don't, okay? You need to know how to clean your own clothes the correct way, because some of y'all don't. You need to be able to keep a clean house, because don't nobody want to come over your house and it's sticky and it's roaches everywhere, all right? And number 3, you should know how to feed your body. Like, you should not be eating processed foods every night. You should not. And the thing about it is, I used to give men the blues. I still do. But I have to also give it to women, because when my freshman year, I lived in an all-girls dorm. I have never forgotten that one day I was down in the basement going to wash my clothes, because in my dorm, our media room and then our washer and dryer room, or our laundry room, was down in the basement. So I was going, because I like had a code on my phone to like it had popped up that my clothes were done washing, so I needed to move them to the dryer. So our kitchen was also right beside the laundry room. So I'm walking down, I get to the basement, it's smoke everywhere. And everybody's like, they're opening the doors to let airflow come in. And I'm like, y'all, what is going on? One of the girls come rushing out. She said, this bitch just put a cup of noodles in the microwave without water. Like, she didn't know you had to put water in it. Like, she didn't read the instructions. And it was because she always had like a parent do it for her. I said, pause. What? Y'all, they were in the kitchen, like fanning the like smoke out of the kitchen, because someone ran into the laundry room, grabbed a towel, because the cup of noodles basically were smoking in the microwave, because the girl just left it in the microwave and then walked to the media room. And then when it started, like, it was so much smoke in there, they had to throw the cup in the sink that was right beside the microwave and pour water all on it. And that's when I was just like, you really didn't know that? And then there was one girl at my sister's school, she didn't know how to wash clothes because her mom came up every weekend to wash her clothes. That does not make sense to me. So Kima saying that, I was like, that is not attractive. I don't know how Alicia is attracted to him, because you not knowing how to feed yourself or do basic human skills, that is ill. You know what I mean? Just ill. Like, oh my God, he's annoying. He is so annoying. So then, like I said, the girls go play golf. They seem to have a good time. I'm not really into golf. I'm not. My daddy loved golf. That's the thing. My daddy loved golf and he know how to cook. Honestly, he the main one in our house that cooks. My mom does not cook. She got certain meals that she could throw down, but my daddy is the one that will really cook and like try new things. She be like, your daddy cooking. We like, are you gonna cook? No, your daddy cooking now. And that's what it is. So it is weird for me to see a guy that is like, oh, that's women's work, when it's like most of the men, like my cousins, like boyfriends or their husbands, they can cook. Or that's another thing. A man that don't know how to grill is also very unattractive to me too. Cause I don't want to grill. I know how to grill, but I don't want to grill. That's men's work. Get on that. I bet you Kima can't grill. I bet you Kima be burning the chicken and the hamburgers. No, ma'am. And the bratwurst. But the girls are going golfing. I probably would go golfing if I knew alcohol was readily available. Like, just let me order a margarita or a lemon drop and I'll be quiet the rest of the thing. But I really did like watching the instructor like teach the ladies when he told them, don't think about hitting the ball, think about hitting the tee. Because Toya was hitting the line. And it was crazy how Heavenly was talking Cash Money, you know what, in the confessional about Toya and how she could do everything better than Toya, only to when it was time for her to swing to do just as bad as Toya. Girl, Simone and Jackie kept hitting it in the water. Their golf balls in the water. I don't remember Alicia or Phaedra hitting the balls, but Sweet Tea did the best, and they all made a joke about, like, I guess you really do be dating old men, because that was an amazing swing. But I love how the instructor, like, because Heavenly kept hitting the line too, he just repositioned her, and then she swung and hit. That's how you know he know what he doing. And I enjoy watching people who are good at certain things, like who are instructors, like teach people and they learn. Like that's how you know you're doing your job correctly. But they all had like a good time. Sweet Tea ended up winning because they were judging to see who could hit the ball the farthest, and she hit it the farthest and not in the water. So everybody gets back home. They all have to change their outfits and get into their yacht attire because they're gonna be on a yacht for tonight's dinner. So we see, I think it was Kima, Alicia, Sweet Tea, Gregory, Cecil was up there with them too, and Toya. And the boys were playing like dominoes. Damon, I think, was up there for a minute and then he left, but he had me giggling because when they asked him, like, what'd you make? And he said, a bougie, a boule, they all cackled. So I like this vibe. It seems like everyone really is enjoying themselves on the trip. And that's one thing that, like, when these cast shows goes on trips, like, yes, I want to see drama, but I also want to see people having a good time, kicking it with their friends. And the vibes were really vibing with them. Like, I really enjoyed seeing them all have a good time. So, I think, like I said, I think Damon left, but then the guys started playing dominoes, and I think Eugene and them, like, he was saying, oh, I got 15. And they was like, oh, you supposed to slam it on the table. And he was like, da-da-da, bitch. And he looked at Sweet Tea, and they was like, it's too soon, and all joking. And then Eugene asked Sweet Tea, well, how did you feel when Jackie called you baby girl? And she said she ain't like it, but she also doesn't think she reacted in the best manner, so she wants to make sure her and Jackie are okay. Gregory is the one that really wants to make it better. He is the one that's really pushing for Sweet Tea to make it better. And Cecil was like, well, did you guys apologize or say anything to each other? And Toya said, well, Jackie told her apologies are for you, not for me. And Cecil was like, ooh. And that's when Gregory was like, well, you know, everyone's in a good mood. We're going to make it better. I don't know why he's harping on making it better, other than maybe he knows Jackie is the HBIC and production will protect her, that he wants to make sure that, like, they stay on this show for next season. But either way, okay. So it's time for all of them to leave. Simone says she's going to be on her best behavior on this yacht, because we know they end up showing flashbacks. I love them showing the flashbacks of like 6 and 7 years ago when she was wilding out on that butt on the yacht, when she got into it with Contessa, and then when she got into it with Quad. Simone don't do well on yachts. She does not do well on yachts. I forgot to talk about how they showed Lisa Nicole Cloud throwing that water in Quad's face. Talk about you and your lesbian relationship. That season was wild. That came up because Curtis and what's her name and Jackie were talking about the trash talk that the guys were talking while they were doing the competition. And he was like, oh, our trash talking is very light compared to y'all. Y'all be throwing drinks on each other. And Jackie was like, when have we ever thrown drinks on each other? And that's when they flash back to the whole situation. When I tell you, Quad should have smacked the fire out of Lisa Nicole for throwing that drink in her face. And Lisa was scared and she knew she was wrong, because I remember when she threw it and Quad got up, she was like, Lisa like sashayed backwards into the and she like, also she was trying to get distance because production came in, because her husband was inside of the restaurant, so he saw the whole thing go down. And then Quad with that big band-aid on her face, she did the most. But she was well within her right to two-piece Lisa in the face. She's not here, because let me move on. So they pull up to the yacht. The yacht's actually really nice. It's called Top Yourself. Y'all could have came with a better name, but it was actually a really nice yacht. So we have some downtime before it's time for them to eat. So the guys are down at the bottom, like at the back of the boat, and the ladies were up at the top. And we see Alicia and Jackie have a conversation, and Sweet Tea was like getting a shot, trying to, because she kind of looked like she was a little tipsy. And Jackie said, "Girl, you sure you want to mix all of that? Be careful." And Alicia was like, "Oh, you really care?" Like, and then they started talking about what happened last night. And Jackie was like, "You couldn't pay me not to to say anything to her." And when Jackie said, "You know what? I apologize for not smacking Sweet Tea in her mouth like her mama should have when she cussed at me." But the thing about it is, it's like, Jackie, you asked her to get it out, and FUB is what she had to say. Now, I told y'all I thought she did the most with that, and I still stand by. I thought Sweet Tea did the most with that. But I do believe that she was in her right to say something to Jackie. But I also feel like if you had that much energy for Jackie, you should have had it for Phaedra for bringing Quad to your bachelorette party. And I've yet to see you have that energy for Phaedra. But, you know, Jackie's pretty much like, I don't really have nothing to say to Sweet Tea. It is what it is. We then see Toya having a conversation with Sweet Tea, pretty much telling her, "Girl, why do you feel the need to apologize to Jackie if you aren't like, you know, if you already know she's not going to apologize to you, and you really did feel that way when she asked you, how do you feel?" And then Sweet Tea was like, "Yeah, but it's just like, I just really need to, I don't like the way I showed up, so I need to apologize for that." So Sweet Tea goes to talk to Jackie. Mind you, she got way too close to her, and the way she sat on that, like, she came and sat on that couch was like a 3-year-old. Like, it was, it's something about Sweet Tea that just feels clunky to me. Maybe that's what it is. She just feels clunky. Like, the way she got on that couch, I was like, why are you sitting down like that? And then when she was like this close to her, I would have been like, back up if I was Jackie. Like, even if we were cool, this is my bubble. This is my space. Get back now. So they're talking. Sweet Tea starts to get emotional with Jackie, and Jackie was just like, "You know what? I know, like, we were poking fun at you like schoolgirls. You were you had a vulnerable time in this. You came into this group at a vulnerable time. You know, talking about Quad and her getting married and being overwhelmed, and we were wrong for that." And she was like, "You know what? And she even said, like, I don't want to. We already got issues. I don't want to compound it on this trip, but I release you, and I hope you can release me." Very much nice, nasty church grandma vibes. It really gave that first, you know, one of the first mothers or one of that church mothers energy coming off of Jackie. And even Sweet Tea said it, but she was like, "I feel like Jackie is still a good person." And the thing about it is, like, I do think Jackie is an ice queen and probably a old church lady. She can be very bitchy, but I do think she cares, and I do think she's not incapable of making mistakes. So I kind of like that she took ownership, but I do wish she would have apologized. But I also feel like I be telling y'all, if you don't feel sorry, you shouldn't tell someone sorry unless you actually mean it and be sincere about it. So I'm okay with her doing it. I just would have doing it, but I would have liked her to like apologize to her. But I'm glad that they were able to move on. Sweet Tea looks like she released and she felt better that she and Jackie were on a better place. Well, in a better place, so good for them. It's nighttime, and they're still on the yacht, and it's time to eat. So the guys are sitting out on the deck area, and the women are sitting on the inside. But before the women sit down to eat, Toya was like, "You want us to fix y'all's plate?" as they were coming down from the top of the boat. And they're like, "Oh, okay, you doing new stuff." So they all make their plates. You got Alicia basically unrolling the dinner napkin on the table and putting it on Kima's lap, and he said, "See, I trained her right." And Jackie stopping before she goes inside to be like, train is what you do to dogs. I said, "Say it, Jackie, because I'm sick of Kima. I'm sick of him." So everyone there, the women are making the guys' plates. Toya gives Eugene his plate. Curtis gives Jackie gives Curtis his plate. They kind of have a cute moment in the confessional talking about, "I think you only did that because you didn't want to be the Iron Man out." Side note, Jackie looked good in her swimsuit when they got on that yacht and she started dancing and showing a little skin. Everybody was like, "Ah, Jackie!" I said, and Curtis was like, maybe I need to get a yacht." I said, "Maybe you do if she gonna be turning it up like that and tearing it up, okay? Be smart about it." So the ladies end up sitting down. One of the deckhands comes and he's like, is there anything else I can do for y'all? And she was like, oh, can you tell the guys, like, do they need anything else? So he comes out and they're like, oh, like the guys, he's talking to the guys and he was like, oh, your wife Toya said no. The guy comes out and talks to the ladies and relayed the message that Toya gave him. Then Eugene ends up saying, tell the lady in there named Toya that I lost points because she didn't kiss me on the cheek like everybody else. Okay, so he goes in there and he relays that message to Toya. Toya said, well, let him know I'll kiss him in private, in his privates. And the guy was like, okay. And then he relays the message and Eugene was like, and everyone at the table are giggling and kikiing and having a good time. They're all just enjoying each other. So they're sitting at the table and then they get on the whole fellatio thing. So Phaedra ended up telling Jackie, Curtis, Damon, and Heavenly that when they were on the sprinter and they had that whole topic about like sex health and all that stuff, that Kima doesn't give, he don't put his face in the place. Okay, he don't give cunnilingus. Is it called? Yeah, he don't do that to Alicia. And they were like, what? In the car. So the topic comes back up because I think Toya said something about like, oh, Alicia, I gotta be more like Alicia, because Phaedra says to Toya, girl, you need to tell him, that's not part of your culture. Cause she said she was tired and she don't know why she promised to do, kisses in a private area cause she tired. And that's when Phaedra was like, you should tell him this is not a part of your culture. So then Toya ends up saying, I need to be more like Alicia cause my mouth is sacred. Pretty much cracking jokes about her. And she was like, well, Kima doesn't like for me to do that anyway. I said, no wonder he not giving you none. Cause if you not doing it to him, I wouldn't be doing it to you. Equal exchange over here, you know what I mean? So they're like, girl, what? So you don't be doing that? And I said, well, he might be getting it by somebody else, Alicia, because what you mean? So Toya and Alicia go back and forth. And Toya is now saying, Alicia, I need to understand, are you really okay with him saying that he trained you? Alicia's like, it's a joke. It's a joke. And Toya was like, it's not a joke if he has to keep saying it over and over. That's not a joke. And then Alicia was like, well, maybe Eugene need to train you. And I'm like, girl, what? And this is how I know the fans really don't see it for Toya, because anybody at that any of the fans that thought that Alicia was eating when she was talking to Toya, you are delusional to me, because there's no way that Alicia saying that Eugene needs to have like a look or like that he can give Toya to keep her in line, like when moms do that to their children in like Target. Like, you're not a dog, you're not a child. You don't need anyone to like train you or teach you anything. You're a fully grown adult. What are you talking about, Alicia? Then she said Eugenie might need to put a collar on Toya, one that shocks her. And then she started doing the zzz, zzz. And then Simone was like, so are you saying that like Eugene needs to train Toya? And then when she started doing the whole like zzz, zzz thing, everyone was laughing. But I was like, Alicia, they're not laughing at like with you, they're laughing at you, because none of the women at the table are cool with that. None of them are like being controlled. And even Eugene was like, I don't want to control my wife. She's an adult. And then it even contradicted what Alicia was saying when she was like, oh, it's a joke. He's only joking. So then they show a scene of him sitting at the table talking about, I had to train her. Kima saying, I had to train her. Every time I got home, I said, where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? And all the men at the table are laughing uncomfortably. You got Eugene being like, and then even Curtis is like, she's not a dog, sir. He's like, where's my food? Where's my food? And then eventually she already understood what it was. Then when I think it was Eugene said, so like a Pavlov response, and he was like, yeah, I said, that man thinks you're a dog. There's no way. There's no way. But they all had a good time on the boat. They was laughing and kikiing and giggling. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Phaedra said, girl, just get you a rose. It does way better. Because Toya's response, everyone gets back from the yacht and they decide to have a pajama party for, the last event of the night. Now, I thought the setup was cute, but I thought where they placed it was in such a tight space that the atmosphere that they were trying to create got lost. Like, it definitely gave, like Jackie said, like middle school type energy, but I really feel like that lady needed bigger tents for adults, or they should have did this like actually outside. I feel like if it was done outside, it would have been like a better, like, it would have, the effect that they were going for would have translated a lot better, in my opinion. So they all come and sit down. They're all sitting together with, their husbands, except Phaedra. And again, I say, Phaedra being on this trip by herself, I don't have any problems with, but we no longer need to bring up the fact that single people, like i.e. Quad, if she comes back, there is an issue for going on these trips. Because Phaedra has been on this trip by herself the whole entire time. Even doing, the tasks that they're doing as a group. So Simone and Cecil are leading the charge. They give everybody cards and they all tell them to write down 5 things that they really are struggling with in their relationship. And they talk about how this whole entire process, or these trips, were made to keep these couples together, but in a healthy way. You know what I mean? So they first ask about Jackie, and the first envelope is about Jackie. And Curtis pretty much says that, like, Jackie spends too much time on social media. He's like, she's always at work, and then when she comes home, she's on her phone, and then it's like she walks through the door like this. And Jackie's whole thing is like, I want to wind down. I've been at work all day, and sometimes social media helps me wind down, as well as I make money off of social media. And I think that's like a catch. What's it called? Ooh, my bad, y'all. Almost knocked you down. I think that's I get where Curtis is coming from. I also get where Jackie's coming from, where it's like, I make money off of social media that pays the bills in this house. Not saying that Curtis doesn't. We know he's retired, so that means he gets a check. But it's just kind of like, that's how I make my money. That's how I keep my momentum with my practice and everything. So I get it, but I also understand Curtis being like, you've been doing this for like so many years. I really just want your time. Like, I want to spend time with you. And that's the same reason why Curtis said that was the reason why he stepped out of their relationship. Or I think it was like that. And also, he's been complaining for a while about wanting to have time with Jackie. Jackie just being so consumed with work, and never really giving time for them to just be with each other and chill. And that can be frustrating. That doesn't give you a right to cheat, but that's definitely something that's frustrating. Hopefully they can make amends. I don't know. A lot of people are speculating on whether or not they still together, or if they just in an arrangement. Could be. They then get on. So then Eugene and Toya chime in. And I actually thought what Eugene and Toya said really, it was valuable. Toya was like, I know sometimes when Eugene gets home, he don't want to be around people. And Eugene even said, yeah, I come home and sometimes I just want to watch TV by myself because I'm with people every day. Like, he peopled out, Same with probably Jackie. I peopled out. Like, I just want to be by myself in my own thoughts. And, I know to give him time. But I also want to spend time with him. So even him cutting out my weave, and then you got Heavenly being like, I don't agree with that. And then Kima saying the same thing, but being like, I've been Americanized. I've cut out a few weaves. Shut up. It's just spending time. Spending time together is a lie, especially if you love that person. You want to spend time with them. And this whole scene just showed that Toya and Eugene, to me, probably have the healthiest relationship, because Toya is very upfront with how she feels, and even Eugene is, and they seem to really love each other and want to work towards keeping their union together. And that's all you can really ask for, is to have a relationship where the communication is open and y'all are honest and y'all both have one main goal, which is to continue building and staying together. So, and I liked how Toya said, I think Curtis just needs to tell Jackie, I just want some of your time, which is true. They then get on Kima and Alicia. And Kima pretty much says what's his name? If Kima will listen to her, or because she feels like they should be farther along in building their empire. I hate couples like that. When they're like, we're trying to build an empire, a legacy. Okay, girl, we get it. You want to leave something for the future. Shut up about it. But basically, what it sounds like to me is Alicia's stashing that $150,000 away. It's either on an offshore account or she got it in her mama's name in her account. Either way, I feel like that lady is saving for a rainy day, because you can't tell me you don't know where $150,000 went. You can't do that to me, because where is it? Where is it, Alicia? But basically, she said that she enjoys doing real estate. Kima likes to do crypto. Crypto makes no sense to me. When I tell you that, it makes no sense to me, because I went down the rabbit hole of trying to understand crypto, and all I know what it is not really real money, and people can steal it and you can do nothing about it. I think I watched this one video where this guy said he had almost like $2 million in crypto and someone stole it from him. And because it's not regulated by any banking system like that, he couldn't get his money back. I don't want no parts of that. I need to get my monies back, okay, if someone takes it. But Kima was feeling some type of way when Alicia was talking about it in the confessional. He was like, baby, you're getting too serious about the situation, where pretty much Kima had invested in the crypto. When she was explaining to him to take it out, he didn't want to take it out, and they lost the money. And then she ended up telling him, like, stop cutting me off. She was like, GD, just give me the just give a lighthearted answer. Like, he was good. He felt embarrassed. Kima started to feel embarrassed because Alicia was pretty much saying Kima didn't trust me, and because he didn't trust me, and because he doesn't have the skill or the knowledge of how the stocks and bonds work, he lost all this money. So then in front of the group, Kima tries to clean it up and be like, well, Alicia just be spending money all willy-nilly. Like, she spent $150,000 and we don't know where it's at. And everybody was like, what? Cecil messy, because Cecil was laughing the whole entire time and smiling. And then in Cecil and Simone's confessional, Simone was like, I find it kind of hard to believe that she don't know where $150,000 is when she's a dentist, she's a realtor and stuff like that. And then Cecil brings up how Simone splurged and got a Maserati, and she was like, well, you liked it too. He said, yeah, it was good, but you ain't tell me about it either. You know what I mean? But again, I feel like that lady got that money in her mama's name, or it's in somebody's account somewhere overseas. Okay, or maybe it's the trust fund for the kids that he don't know about, just in case she got the skadoodle. Okay. The last question they talked about was sex, and are they fulfilled in their sexual, lives or whatever. And Jackie said she want more sex, but she be too tired. They like, well, did you get the O and the I shot? She said, yeah, girl, you don't want that man. Who else? Damon said he fulfilled and like what Heavenly be putting down. And then Toya said, of course I'm fulfilled now, because what's his name, Eugene has lost some weight. The only thing she don't like is that it's scheduled. I said, girl, at least it's scheduled and you getting some. You was pissed when you wasn't getting none. Girl, take what you could get from that man. He be tired. Toya, gosh. And then they read Phaedra's card talking about she happy and enjoying her single life. And Phaedra lied at the end when she said her ex she had been with since she was a kid. Girl, you met Apollo when he was in jail. What are you talking about? Phaedra be lying. But that was the end of the episode, y'all. So that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. I'm enjoying this season. I know some people haven't been enjoying it because they said it took a lull after the wine trip, but I've been enjoying myself. I like Married to Medicine, one of my favorite reality shows. But let me know how you feel down in the comments below. And I'm out, y'all.